He walked into the hospital on his own, through the main entrance, in broad daylight, in front of witnesses, under surveillance cameras. He passed the registration desk, sat down on a plastic chair in the hallway, and waited. From that moment on, no one ever saw him again. Not in the morgue, not on the streets, not among the living, not among the dead. He didn't escape. He didn't run. He vanished inside a building where people are supposed to be watched at all times. Hospitals are considered some of the safest places in society. Cameras, security, medical staff, access logs, controlled entrances and exits. That's exactly why disappearances like this are so terrifying. Because if a person can vanish from a place designed for constant oversight, then control itself is an illusion. That morning, the man woke up early. His life was ordinary in every way. No criminal record, no debts, no known conflicts. He made coffee, ate a piece of toast, and left his mug in the sink. He checked his phone, replied to a few messages, put on his jacket, and left his apartment. His visit to the hospital was routine, not an emergency, not urgent, just a scheduled consultation. He even told his family he'd be back in a couple of hours. He drove himself, parked carefully, paid for parking. Security cameras captured him stepping out of the car, locking the door, checking his pockets, keys, phone, wallet. Everything was there. He looked calm, normal. Nothing about him suggested this would be the last time he was seen outside. Inside the hospital, everything felt familiar. The squeak of gurney wheels, nurses calling names, the sharp smell of disinfectant, people scrolling through their phones, filling out forms, staring at the floor. He approached the registration desk, gave his name, showed his documents. His information was entered into the system. He was told to wait. He nodded and took a seat. That is the last confirmed moment of his presence. After that, the story becomes unsettling. Security footage shows him sitting in the hallway for several minutes. He looks at his phone, occasionally glances up, shifts in his chair. Then he stands up, calmly, without urgency. He walks down the corridor toward the examination rooms. This doesn't raise suspicion. Patients are often called silently or signaled by staff, but he never reaches the office. On the next camera, he's gone. Hours pass. The hospital stays busy. Staff assume he's already being examined or left. His family assumes he's still inside. His phone stays silent, but that isn't unusual in a medical setting. Concern begins later. He doesn't come home. He doesn't answer calls. His car remains in the parking lot. That evening, relatives return to the hospital. Staff check the system. He's registered, but there's no record of an appointment. No doctor saw him. No department claims responsibility. That's when security reviews the footage, and something becomes clear. He entered the building, but never exited. Not through the main doors, not through side exits, not through staff-only passages. He didn't take an elevator. He didn't use the stairs. He simply disappears between two cameras in a hallway leading to standard medical offices. Security first suspects a technical glitch. Cameras fail sometimes, but there is no malfunction. The cameras were working perfectly. The man just isn't there anymore. Police launch a full investigation. Every department is searched. Basements, attics, maintenance rooms, supply closets, elevator shafts. The morgue is checked, no body. Emergency admission records, no match. Ambulance logs, nothing. His phone is found later. It's sitting on a sink in a hospital restroom. Not broken, not hidden, not damaged. Just placed there, as if he set it down to wash his hands. But no camera captured him entering that restroom, and no camera captured him leaving it. That detail shatters logic. If he left voluntarily, why abandon his phone? If he collapsed, where are the signs? If this was a crime, where is the evidence? Investigators proposed their first theory, a medical emergency. Perhaps he became disoriented, wandered into a restricted area, collapsed somewhere unseen. But exhaustive searches find nothing. The second theory involves mental distress. Stress can cause sudden, irrational behavior, but nothing in his actions suggests panic. His movements were controlled, his demeanor calm. He had plans to return home. The third theory suggests a system failure, a clerical mistake, a mix-up. But that's impossible. His face is on camera. His registration is logged. He was physically there. Then comes the theory no one likes to discuss openly. Hospitals contain areas patients aren't supposed to access. Service corridors, locked wings, old basement levels no longer in use, but still physically present. In theory, someone could enter these spaces, but why would he? And how did no one notice? One chilling detail stands out. Access logs show a brief opening of a restricted service door around the time he vanished. The access card belonged to an employee working that shift. The employee denies letting anyone in. Was it an error or something else? Days pass, then weeks, then months. His car remains in the parking lot. Tickets unpaid. Insiders' belongings. Documents. Clothing. Everything suggests he never planned to disappear. The case spreads online. People slow down the footage, enhance shadows, analyze frames. Some claim to see movement. Others hear a door. Some believe the cameras were intentionally disabled for seconds at a critical moment. But no proof emerges. The hospital releases brief statements. Cooperation. Ongoing investigation. Eventually, public attention fades. The man does not return, and the question remains, heavier with time. How can someone disappear inside a hospital? If it can happen there, then there are spaces where we are unseen. Moments that go unrecorded. Gaps between cameras where reality slips away. Before we end, I want to hear from you. What do you think happened? A medical emergency? An unnoticed accident in a restricted zone? Or something far darker? Leave your theory in the comments. Sometimes it's an outside perspective that notices what investigators missed. If you're interested in real criminal cases, unexplained disappearances, and mysteries without answers, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. These stories aren't just puzzles. They're people who never made it home. Because sometimes the most terrifying things don't happen in dark alleys. They happen in the places we trust the most.